Scott, I'm glad you put that graphic up that somebody drew with colored pencils in their binder.
Yes,
High
yes.
school.
I'm not going to show anything else about the opening credits.
Just
The thing.
just to the left of that, someone drew the cool S.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah.
I'll wait till the end and I will just say this as long as I can remember. This is my favorite B movie of all fucking time.
Chris, did you know that I have never seen this movie before?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I could see it. I could see it. I saw
I
it.
have also,
Yeah.
I've also never seen this.
Okay.
So this is all I'll say.
Okay. Hold on.
I am 10 years old. I see the TV commercial for this movie come on. It is my mission in life to get my mother to take me to this R-rated bloodfest.
Nice.
Took me months, and I saw it on a triple bill with this, Godzilla versus the Smog Monster.
Oh, good movie.
And Two-Lane Blacktop.
Holy
okay,
shit.
okay. That
By the
belongs
end
to
of it,
magic.
my mother wanted to kill me.
She should get some kind of a medal.
I would also want to kill you.
Yeah. That's a lot, man. Actually, the double bill of this and Smog Monster, awesome. Two-Lane Blacktop after sitting through two other movies.
Nope.
Holy shit.
No, I think that was first, which
Oh God, that's even worse. Actually,
I'm curious to hear a rollout from John and Tad because you've not seen this before, and what your impressions were of this film.
I enjoyed every single stupid, tacky minute of this movie so much.
terrible,
What a piece of garbage! It's
terrible movie. Terrible movie. Laughed my ass off.
Oh my
wish it was
God.
twice as long. I know it's
No, it's exactly
it's
the
like
right way.
70s version of RoboCop.
feels every scene he's in.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Right.
It is not the 70s version of RoboCop because RoboCop is intentionally funny and this movie is not.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
funny. It's just that the line deliveries, there are good jokes in this movie that are delivered in the most wooden way possible, and that actually makes it funnier.
It does.
In some
It
points
does make
it
it
does.
funnier, but they were not going for that.
No.
Yeah, it's like
that scene with Stallone with the fucking yogurt on his face about.
when he's in the car yelling his lines over the engine noise. It's like you
Yeah.
can't make out half of what he's saying, but he is so fucking funny. And it's like, did I know? Did I not know? I don't know. It's like so it was something like that. I just busted up. I had to roll it back and play it again.
Also, any film with this guy as your Greek chorus is not going to be that serious.
Well,
it's going to be
so well done. I grew up
basically
in
the
LA.
narration's being screamed at you the entire movie.
Everybody yells. Everybody yells in this movie.
Being screamed at you by fake Howard Cosell. It's
Yeah.
very
yeah,
weird.
Real Don Steele,
You had to
an
put that in
absolute
context.
celebrity
You had to have
in Los
context
Angeles.
for that. You think, what, does this guy have a stroke or something? No, he's supposed to be Howard Cosell. It's like no one remembers it anymore. No one knows that used to be a favorite impression people did. Oh,
I'm not shocked.
Oh, that explains it.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, don't you love how
for fuck's sake!
Starts in New York, which is absolutely Ontario Raceway.
they come out of the tunnel and it's like so obviously California instantly.
As someone who has come out of the Holland Tunnel multiple times, that is not what North Jersey looks like.
Yeah.
But in the future, maybe.
Yeah, this does kind of pave the way for so many movies like RoboCop. I wrote down
The remake of Death Race.
The Running Man.
No, hold on. This movie was a reaction. This was Corman going, I want something to compete with Rollerball.
Right?
That's right.
Oh, that makes sense.
Whip this out in like 3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you know what else? I thought it was Idiocracy. This is like Idiocracy.
Oh, absolutely it is. This is probably
It's the same. It takes place in the same future.
I
exactly.
don't think this movie is as cynical as Idiocracy. Idiocracy is the most cynical film I've ever seen, which isn't bad. That movie needs to be
Still pretty
cynical.
fucking cynical.
Yes, but like there's different tiers. Like
What is going on? Oh, it's Euthanasia Day at the old bookstore.
I know. Well, that whole sequence was amazing, but interesting because you got to delineate Frankenstein's morality.
That is one of the jokes that actually works when he runs over all the nurses instead of all the senior citizens.
Yes.
Okay, but he still scored, but he didn't score the people he was supposed to score, which is interesting.
That and him putting it in reverse from the starting line and running over his own pit crew.
I know it was his mayhem revealed character.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is very funny that they did the like Monty Python like bleh, 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 as they drive.
Yes, the nurses just pop into the air.
That was the best. Maybe why
Chris,
not?
Chris, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever played Carmageddon? Any of the Carmageddon?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Okay,
In this
okay.
movie.
I got to wait. I got
Right.
to level 15 on Carmageddon. So
Well, you know, the first one was called Carmageddon: The Death Race.
yes,
Like they are just
The
they
CD CD-ROM
so
version.
far.
Uh-huh.
They lean so far in. That's why it was weird watching this movie. It's like, oh, I know this. Like I've
I
never
ran
seen
over
this
so
movie
many
before, but I
people.
absolutely know what it is.
Mhm.
No,
Like,
I mean, they make jokes about running over babies in this fucking
Yeah.
movie.
So
And that was a big plot point. It's like running over that baby, and it was a
Get
bomb.
the
and it
baby,
blew up
get the
and-
baby.
Yeah.
Was that Nero?
Yeah, that's Nero. That's the dude from that's Martin Cove from
Yeah, that's Kreese. Yes,
from
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid and among
And-
others.
and Cobra Kai.
No, when you go look at the credits, like Tak Fujimoto was the DP who
Big
like
names.
got nominated for several Oscars. Assistant director was Louis Teague, who did Cujo. Like the editor, many actually legitimate movies.
Uh-huh.
But
Landis is an extra.
oh, really?
Is this Stuntman Days? Is he in this film?
John
He's in-
Landis.
He plays a mechanic.
Oh wow. Wow, that's kind
I
of
think he's the one when machine the scene behind me when Machine Gun Joe pulls in and they've got the Frankenstein sign.
Yeah.
The guy going, get him, get him, get him.
The some of the racing scenes are pretty competently put together. They're pretty. The action
They're
works.
all over cranked like three
Yo,
oh
times.
big
my
time.
God, they're so
Well,
overcrowded.
they
They're
had to.
big
The
time.
cars only go 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, these
These cars were VW
kit
bugs.
cars.
yeah,
These Volkswagen
You know,
kit cars that they
That may
had.
be one reason the action kind of reminded me of Herbie the Love Bug. It kind of
Yeah.
had that feel to it.
Mhm.
These are three of these are VW bugs. And
I could see that. I could see that.
they were terrified. Well, I'm sure Tad, you probably read the same thing. That they were terrified that these cars were going to explode into pieces if they even went off like a 1 foot jump.
Mhm.
Right.
So they just tried to avoid that one, and if at all possible.
Well,
But
plus you break all that plastic and
There's
stuff.
a scene where a car goes off, it like goes over a bump of some kind, and like the fender falls
That's
off.
Yeah.
Machine Gun Joe at the end when he goes into the river chasing the guy. Who,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I named my dog after you, Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He lands in the water. Yes, basically the entire back half of the car levitates.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It
Yeah.
was held together with baling wire and like duct tape, basically. All these things.
I do think it's funny though that John, you say this, it's competently put together. Like, yeah, I mean, sure, but also 4 years before this is Grand Prix, and it's like
That's a different level, though.
Right. It's a
no, but
different-
I'm saying like we'd already learned a better way to make a racing movie.
Right. Right.
Like-
But this movie was made for a nickel 98. you know?
Yeah.
But
Grand
also,
Prix didn't
but-
cost
but,
that much.
4 years later was Mad Max, and this film is informed by that. I think in a lot of ways.
That film is informed by this.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
I agree, and I kind of felt the DNA of Mad Max. You know, it's
Yeah,
like
it
it's
started-
crude.
it's
This,
like-
this
it's-
is crude, but
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah, exactly.
This is
Well, it's-
also, I had flashbacks to like, what was the Saturday morning cartoon? There was a
Wacky Racers?
Wacky Racers.
A little different, but okay, I'll buy that.
Or if you're my age, Speed Racer.
Also, as I pointed out earlier, the cars ate Paris, or
Mm,
all the cars ate people.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that
Those
States.
cars went a lot slower, but
I know, but that was 75 or 76, wasn't it?
74, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's the
Year
same
before
era.
this.
It's almost the same
I-
idea.
I want to say something about the direction as far as the performances go. It's like I know some of these actors just aren't very good, but it feels like on top of that, Paul Bartel's just his direction is just like yell your lines as loud as possible. Like that reporter lady who is really
Grace.
annoying.
Grace
It's like
Lander.
Oh, my
Grace Lander.
good personal friend Frankenstein.
everybody's like up here as far as the performance level. It's super campy. It kind of either feels like a sketch from Kentucky Fried Movie, this whole movie.
And, well,
It's
yeah.
either that or like a cheap porno from the 70s. It's got that same
Well, later on,
amateurish
It
quality.
is a cheap porno from the
Yeah.
70s.
It is.
And then you get
It is.
Carradine, who is like a box with arms. Every line delivery is
Look,
fucking
David
terrible.
Carradine could not act. Like his brother's a
Wow.
much better actor.
For
Like
sure.
the reason that Kung Fu worked is because that character doesn't have any human emotions.
Right.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
That's his greatest performance because it's so underplayed.
Mhm.
Right.
Just as you say.
Seeing him auto asphyxiating in Thailand.
Oh yeah, we're not going to forget that.
Wearing the gimp suit, yes.
Yeah, but you know the one thing he said this for an interview back when he did Kung Fu is that he even said himself, it's not really acting. I'm doing is more like dancing.
Right.
And he does. That's what he does in this thing. And this thing is just, you know, he thought this was going to be a really important film for him, so he definitely threw a lot into it.
Ish.
And like
As much as he had.
He gave it his all, which was like.
Also, again, impressive with like the sex scenes at the end in terms of like just, you know, it not being the 1970s. It's like, all right, let it all hang out. You know,
Chris, that picture behind you is sort of an establishing shot. It's a wide shot, but they don't do it at the beginning of the scene. They set up the race is about to begin. They have the announcers talking. Then they cut to that, and that's where you just like you laugh.
Hey, that's like 20% of the budget. This matte painting, man. Come on.
Again.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow.
What did that make me? It also made me think of another sort of post-America film, which some of you guys may have heard of, called Breakfast with the Colonel.
A little bit.
I've never heard of it. That's obscure.
In fact, I met the Colonel yesterday.
That's right.
Are you saying this is the same universe as Breakfast with the Colonel?
It could be. It's like this is what's happening outside of Northern California.
The race is going from New York to LA, so it avoids the Bay Area.
It totally misses Pacifica Province. Yeah.
Exactly. So, okay, all right.
But Scott, if you're going to need a cutaway, I want you to cut to the matte painting that we did of the Civic Center in San Rafael, where we added the extra stories to the building.
You're going to have to send it to me because I don't think I have it.
Well, you'll cut this out, but we secretively, Glenn and I put Breakfast with the Colonel up on YouTube last month.
Oh.
Wait, what?
It's been up on YouTube since April 1st. Breakfast with the Colonel's been available for free on YouTube.
Oh, that's right. He fixed it up, right? He
Really?
It looks pretty decent.
Watch it again. I want to watch it again. I don't have a copy.
Well, Glenn is a very careful cinematographer, so that's one of the reasons that Fruitmobile looks so nice.
Yes, indeed.
Glenn did a good job on it. He bumped up to HD really well.
No, it was no free oranges though.
No, it wasn't.
What is?
No. Okay. Well, yeah. And thank you for your cameo last week in this.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, it was fun to rewatch it after all these years because it had been a long time for me too, and so I finally can get over the shame and enjoy it for what it is.
All right. Well, I'll cut this out and make that. There might be a clip. We don't know. So
yeah.
Corman movie sans Roger.
Yes.
Anyway,
I sort of feel like this movie epitomizes all of Corman's like 75 to 85. Like looks like shit, funny in places, sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally, like tits, blood, exploding heads, like all of it was in this.
Oh my God, the exploding head. They cut away from that so fast. And I guarantee you it's because it immediately looked like somebody just dropped a jar of
Which
jam.
exploding head? The one that she runs over?
Yeah, that's one.
Like the exploding
Force her navigator.
backs up over somebody.
Yeah, the guys in the manhole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
That's a good gag.
Hey, there's some great kills in this movie, that's for sure. But,
I remember, like, I've still got some of them, but when this movie came out, I was, as a little kid, like I had all these like the little metal cars you would buy at the store, and like I had like, I don't know, 5
Hot Wheels?
No, like Dinky and Corgi. Like I have like 5.
Oh, okay, good enough.
The James Bond DB5 in the closet still. That they didn't do cars I could buy. So what I did was I took the metal cars I had, and like I had a little Corvette, and as a 10-year-old I got the spray can out and I tried to reproduce this paint job, and I took these little white colored pencils and I would sharpen them and cut the ends off and like
cool.
Miller's glue into the front of the Corvette car to try to make my own version of Frankenstein's monster.
Cool.
I mean, like, yeah, I'm 10 years old. This is the greatest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how his name is Frankenstein? Like, I keep
yes.
People keep saying it, and
I don't think you can talk about it because you're speechless.
Get less crazy. Like it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, he got all fucked up, so he's Frankenstein, I guess.
He's together with other parts.
Right. Yes. Aren't they saying that he's always different people? Like they keep replacing with different like weird hybrids all the time. He's not one guy. He's actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember reading that somewhere.
Oh, I didn't
He's just the
catch that
latest of a
from-
long series of Frankensteins
Oh,
who
by the way, those crazy, now it's behind Chris, those crazy white backpacks and weird futuristic
The
TV
thing behind
cameras.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
real life, the Albert Brooks real life.
Yeah, the Albert
Yeah,
Brooks
yeah,
real
that's
life
right.
thing. Yeah. I mean, the art direction, I mean, yeah, the movie cost $10, but the art direction's kind of great. Those goofy sets, the
they put some
interior.
thought into it. They put some thought into it.
They really did put some thought into
That's
it.
that is
And it's-
definitely the lobby of the local Radisson.
It's got
Yeah,
some,
yeah, so-
Well,
it's
So-
got this homely
Right,
70s
on
quality.
the Blu-ray, there are two
It
commentary
looks like
tracks.
an office building without the cubicles in it.
There
Yeah.
are, yes. So
Yes.
on the Blu-ray, there's two commentary tracks. One is Corman with Mary Warrenoff, and
Ah.
everything you guys just said, like all those extras, there are people that were working on the movie. All and it's the same kind of thing. Crowd shots. You get everybody in front of the camera lens. You don't see that there's nothing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Has anybody, go ahead,
they
Jim.
do some of those crowd shots at Ventura Raceway, like during an actual race.
Yeah, that's right. They snuck in there and got some shots in during actual.
And then they cut to some people holding up Nazi flags and stuff.
I am glad that we got our
Insert
Nazi
shot.
quota. Like
Yeah,
I
we
was,
got
I was
some
afraid,
Nazis
I was
in this.
afraid we
It's
weren't going to have our
strange. It
Nazi
turned out
quota.
that way. You know, it's
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
Nazis did show up.
Herman
in
the
this film.
German.
I
Also
really
the-
liked the buzz bomb on top of Matilda the Hun.
Oh, it had
Yeah.
the V2 rocket thing on top.
That's what
That was
Taz
the
got
V1.
behind him, man. That's
V1, that's right. It was
smart.
like it looked just like that. That's great.
God, Matilda
has-
Hun
has-
is
is
such
there
a
any
bad joke.
Is there any documentation for the locations? Because they drive past like every brand new sort of brutalist 70s building that they could
That's all I
find.
had in LA back then, so probably
Yes,
not.
you
But
can find that.
I recognize a lot of the 5 and the interchange to the Antelope Valley. You know, right, they're just still building it back then,
Mhm.
and you saw a lot of that.
There are websites that do locations.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
just Google it and you'll find.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a really good
That's true.
website that I found because I was looking for one of the movies that we did recently. And I was like, where did they fucking shoot this? And yeah, it like big long descriptions and like here's all the other movies it's been in and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
It's such a blatantly cheap ploy of just like, oh, here's a cool looking building. We'll have the cars drive past it. Here's a cool looking building. We'll put the president's podium in front of it.
Yeah.
It's great. It costs nothing.
But most of it's like the area between like
also
Santa
had some
Clarita
awesome
and
things.
Ojai.
Cheap sign that said Mercy Hospital.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
they stuck it on there exactly.
the
That's
other
fun.
the other 60% of the budget they spent
There it
on the
is.
scene where he kills the president. Like,
Okay.
that's
Yes, and this is where naming that character Frankenstein really pays off because he drives into the podium, kills the president, and you get that amazing flash forward to the wedding,
to President Frankenstein.
Right.
and the announcer lady yells, "Mr. and Mrs. President Frankenstein." I felt like my pouch. I fucking that I ran it back and played it again.
Of course, she calls him Frank at that point, so you know.
Yeah.
So
It's just
so
it's a beautiful collection of words, Mr. and Mrs. President.
So as I understand it, there was a
Scott, put that on the screen.
Well,
Yes.
I will.
You need to put that on the screen.
Okay.
In
got it.
impact.
As
Got
I
it.
understand it, there was some tension between Paul Bartel and Corman over how funny to make this movie.
Oh yeah, I can
There
see
were
that.
more jokes in the original version that Corman made them get rid of,
Ah,
but what's left behind works. I mean, Paul Bartel didn't make a ton of movies. I mean, Lust in the Dust,
Hey, Eating Raoul.
Eating Raoul.
Raoul is a good movie.
Great
I
movie.
told this to Jim yesterday. So in 1988, he made a movie called Scenes from the Class Struggle in Beverly Hills, and this was during a
Right.
period of time when
Another good movie.
I was gutting, those radio station, like be the fifth caller, get the ticket,
Yeah.
etc. So we're at somewhere in the Embarcadero, the used to be movie theater, and then the lights come up and the announcer says, "Oh, and the filmmakers are here." And I turn around and it's Paul Bartel and Mary Warrenoff.
Oh my
wow.
God.
I almost passed out.
I would have passed out. That's amazing.
Like
wow.
I was like, I don't care what I just saw. You guys made Death Race 2000.
I called my first base Warrenoff because it was long and blonde. Wood. It had a W on the stock. It's like, oh, it's the Warrenoff base. She's so cute. She was adorable, and I took
It also may be the best.
she took the job fairly seriously for what it was. It was kind of interesting, especially Eating Raoul. She was great in that. But That's good stuff.
Yeah,
But like,
I'm glad you guys. I fucking love this movie with every fiber of
but
my
did your
soul.
cat like it? That's
I
the
watch it once a year.
Huh?
I think Stallone. This is a year or two after The Lords of Flatbush, but a year before Rocky.
He was probably writing Rocky while I was making.
And
You could just see it. I mean, it's like he knows. Like, I'm gonna chew up every millimeter of screen time that I get.
All right.
Well, and
Myra, everybody thinks you're funny, but I think you're one big baked potato.
I gotta say, like, it's one of the unfortunate things about Stallone's career is that he became this like action guy because he's very good in comedic roles.
He
I
is.
love Oscar.
I literally was about to say that.
Oscar is fucking amazing.
It's so good, and he is so funny and quick
Yes.
in it. Like
Absolutely.
he plays off of that Bing Bang dialogue in that movie, and he's so good at it. And like, I wish he'd done more of that.
I
also think about Demolition Man. That film was
Demolition
very
Man.
funny.
I love Demolition Man.
It has a great comic level to it. It's just
that's another movie that has a little bit of this DNA in it.
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Actually,
again, I have said this many times before, but I want a sequel to Demolition Man, which is what Leary and Benjamin Bratt were doing in the sewers.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know how Benjamin Bratt ends up where he is at the end of that movie. Like,
Yeah.
I want.
All right. Well,
do we have a Jim's Corner on this?
How great is that scene where Frankenstein...
Also, Jim is voted most likely to be Paul Bartel.
This is true.
I am Paul Bartel.
Yeah, his first movie, Secret Cinema, is really quite good. You can probably find it.
I've only seen that once.
Yeah, on whatever. I saw it in the theater, actually. They were having like eating.
I don't think she ever wears that outfit.
No,
not once ever. No.
The movie poster has no bearing on the
on reality.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, some of these movies got made because the people who were working in the editing department took a bunch of outtakes and put them together to make a movie idea.
That's
for like a trailer for a movie that didn't exist.
For sure. There's a couple of those.
Anyway, my favorite scene is the mass, the huge mass massage scene.
Oh, the group massage scene.
Yeah, apparently they didn't want to be naked, and like Corman like bullied them into being naked.
She didn't want to be naked because she'd been in a lot of movies with him, and he made her be naked every time.
And Warrenoff actually, I think she put the tape thing on her boobs. So
yeah, she's got the
and they fell off.
Yeah, exactly.
Another good scene you guys haven't mentioned is when Frankenstein meets his fan, who shows up the next morning.
Oh, that's right.
In the middle of the road. So
oh yeah.
Oh my God. Anything else, Jim?
No, that's it.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
come on.
5 thumbs up.
Over this part, I'll never forgive it for it. It's
terrible.
I drew this in
Utterly terrible.
high school.
It should be
that though. It's great.
Folder, you know?
It should what, Jim?
Terrible.
It should be on a peachy folder.
And
Yes.
it probably is on a peachy folder somewhere.